guys, it's Jessie and Stacy with Chapter 6, and we are here to do the first and last tag. We were tagged by Beauty Equals Hate, and we don't know who started the tag, but when we figure it out, we will put it right here. The first question is, what was the first video you did, and what was the last video you did?
The first video I did is called Stacy is Officially a Freak, and that was with YA Fiction Freaks. I'll put links to all the videos down below. And then the last one I did was my Halo Trilogy review. Come on, Jessie, I'm dying to know.
The first video that I ever uploaded was an introduction with Gina over at YA Fiction Freaks. And then the most recent video that I uploaded is our top 10 books we ain't reading.
We ain't reading?
We ain't reading them.
What was the first BookTuber video you watched, and what was the last BookTuber video you watched?
First BookTuber that I ever watched, not saw, but watched, was Kate's Book Club. And then the most recent video that I watched was Lizzie Books training for a BookTube-a-thon.
First one I ever watched, I didn't actually watch on YouTube, I watched it on Jessica's computer, and that was The Smell of Books by YA Fiction Freaks.
Ah!
And I really liked that one. And
it was a good video.
The last one I watched was Cash J. Tuck's review over The Fault in Our Stars.
The next question is, what was the first book you remember buying, and what was the last book you bought?
I remember buying, I bought at my school, my local school library sale. I bought it for a nickel. I bought it all by myself, and that was Dan Morgan, the Rifleman by somebody Tucker. Ernst E. Tucker.
Ernsty.
And I paid...
Good old Ernsty.
I paid 5 cents for it.
The first book that I remember...
Oh, I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
The last book that I bought, Jessica cares so much, was this Mistborn Trilogy box set by Brandon Sanders, I think is his name.
That's the UK version.
Yes.
The first book that I remember getting was a Berenstain Bears book, and me and Stacy and Dad had went to Borders, and I picked out this Berenstain Bears book, and then I remember sitting, because we went out to eat afterwards, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, I can't read this. This is a chapter book. Why did Dad let me buy this? And I was so mad because I couldn't read my Berenstain Bears book.
Can you remember the first book you bought by yourself?
The first book I bought by myself was Goosebumps from Stacy.
Oh, yeah!
For dime.
It was awesome. Why did you sell those? Why did I sell those?
And the last book that I bought, I had a whole bunch, I had a haul, but the last one I remember picking up at the bookstore was The Name of Our Star, I think.
The Name of the Star.
The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson.
What is the first book that you remember reading, and what was the last book that you finished?
First actual book I remember reading, I think, was Harry Potter.
The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis.
Did I read that before Harry Potter?
You probably did.
I think I might have, so I changed mine. It's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe also.
Did you do your last?
No, I didn't.
Oh, so I did skip over you. I'm sorry. So we'll cut that out. So you finished.
No, just keep it in. It's fine.
No, go ahead.
We can just stick it in.
Okay. Go.
And the last book that I remember reading was Reached by Ali Condi.
The last book, I just finished it yesterday.
I finished it.
Something Deadly This Way Comes by Kim Harrison.
The next question is, what is the first dystopia you ever read, and what is the last dystopia you ever read?
Pretty sure this is the first one. I'm not sure because I really wasn't sure what dystopian was during that time period. But
I don't think it was an actual thing yet.
But my first one was The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I think this is a lot of people's first one because I think this is the book that made dystopian
It definitely
popular.
popped it in the YA world.
And then the last one I remember reading is, the last one I did read was The Immortal Rules by Julia Kakawa.
Dystopia I ever read was The Giver by Lois Lowry.
Ooh.
And then the most recent dystopia I ever read was Reached by Ali Condi. Also, the last book I just finished. 6
was, what is the first paranormal romance you ever read, and what was the last paranormal romance you read?
Twilight is the first one I actually ever counted as a paranormal romance. Like you said earlier, I don't know if I read one before that. And then the most recent paranormal romance was Clockwork Princess.
Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. Yes, that was my first one too. And the last one is Heaven by Alexandra Adornetto.
The next question is, what is the first book that made you cry, and what was the last book that made you cry?
My first one is Fallen Grace by Mary Hooper. This book made me bawl my eyes out. It was an arc, and I don't think that this book gets enough credit. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. This is the last one that I read that I bawled my eyes out, and it is so good. Jessica, you are going to love it when you read it.
I cry a lot. Books frequently make me cry. I'm pretty sure the first book that I remember made me cry again was Harry Potter. I think I cried every single book Harry Potter.
Did you really?
I'm like,
I bawled my eyes out.
Oh no, Hermione!
No, that might be the first one I did cry in because I read that before Fallen Grace. I'm sorry. I changed mine to the last book in Harry Potter.
You didn't cry in the 5th book of Harry Potter?
That's a spoiler, and no, I did not. I cried when...
If you're still getting spoiled in Harry Potter, then you do not need to be watching this video.
So I changed mine from Falling Grace to that one.
Now I feel like a baby. I cried at all of them.
Did you cry in the first one, Jessica?
Yes!
When Harry found the Sorcerer's Stone.
I was like 11, and I'm like, oh, Hermione's such a good person, and she loves Harry.
For all the predictions for the end of that series, like everyone was talking about the predictions, but they weren't talking about them until the movies came out because no one was reading the books.
Yeah.
And it's like all anybody ever talked about. What
series you completed in last year's?
Okay. The first series I completed was Harry Potter!
Mine too.
I just love these books. Like, they're so well made. It's like, it's been so long since I've read them that I forget how well made they are.
I know.
Just like,
even holding them just
I
gives
know,
you like a sense of nostalgia.
It's a nice size. It's got this, I don't think anybody has ever done the cover the way that these have.
Yeah.
With like the bubble imprint.
And the paper is so thick.
Anyways, my favorite thing to do when I got these the first time was to take this off and look at the entire
and you had to see what the color was underneath.
And like trying to figure out what all the pictures meant because the pictures always meant something in the book.
Oh, Harry Potter. Come back
I'm
to
so
me.
jealous of anybody who has not experienced Harry Potter yet.
No,
I'm like
could you
super
imagine?
jealous.
Darn you, Dylan and Emma.
I would love to experience this series again for the first time.
I know.
And then after you got done reading, you would go back and look at the pictures again to see anything that you missed.
Yeah.
And the last series I completed was the Once Dead, Twice Shy series by Kim Harrison. If you remember earlier, I showed the Something Deadly This Way Comes. That's the third one. And I finished it yesterday.
Like I said, my first was Harry Potter as well. Although I don't actually know if it is the first one that I completed because Harry Potter 7 came out so late. I feel like I might have completed one before that, but I'm guessing that's what I did. And then the most recent series that I completed was the Match series. Like I said earlier, also finished it yesterday. It was the last book. First book I finished in my series challenge.
Question number 9 is, what was the first book you couldn't make yourself finish and what was the last book you couldn't not make yourself finish?
Since I've started booktubing, the first book was Graceling. I couldn't finish it. And then the second book was Poison Study. And I actually read those back to back because I was pregnant and in school and working and planning my wedding, so I was just not in the mood. I was not in the mood for them.
Not in the mood! First book I have not finished is the Dan Morgan, The Rifleman. I'm going to finish this one day. I need to because it's just sad that the first book I ever bought I have not finished reading. And then last one is Pharmacology by Christopher Hertz. I said in the review why I didn't like this. It's just bad. It's got I even left my bookmark in of where.
Wow, you only got to page 40.
Yeah, and it was that bad.
Bad all over. Bad over here, bad over there. The last question is, who is the first person you tag and who is the last person you tag?
The first person we tag is Cass J. Tuck because we really
Cass J. Tuck.
Because we really like her. And the last person we tag, Jessie the Reader, is the last person we tag. And then anybody else who wants to do it. So technically, you are the last person we tag.
Ooh.
You like that?
How you like that?
Yeah, guys. So thanks for watching our tag video. And we hope you guys enjoyed this. So, bye, guys.